Anybody can run their own factory. You can start in an apartment with a laptop, expand to a garage, and eventually run multiple factories making millions of dollars just like I do. I'm David. I run an air filter manufacturer that makes $23 million a month, and I've built 6 factories from the ground up. Most people think that manufacturing is expensive and complicated, but anyone can copy the strategy that I used. So here's the step-by-step roadmap that I used to go from $0 on a dining room table to millions in revenue. But before I show you step 1, you need to avoid the biggest mistake people make that keeps them broke. Dollar Shave Club and Harry's both started selling razors online. Both got massive. Both called themselves direct-to-consumer. Only one is still standing. Dollar Shave Club went viral with funny ads, but bought razors from a Korean company called Dorco. They were the middlemen with good marketing. They sold to Unilever for $1 billion. Sounds like a win, right? But Unilever realized there was no moat. Dollar Shave Club essentially disappeared. Harry's, on the other hand, bought a German manufacturing facility. They owned the factory and controlled cost. They could undercut competitors while spending more on marketing because their unit economics were better. Harry's is still operating today. But here's what nobody tells you. Manufacturing is actually less capital intensive than importing. Most importers pay up front for 6 months of inventory. If your only advantage is marketing, you're vulnerable. But if you manufacture, your unit economics are better. You can outspend everyone on marketing and still win. Your cash isn't sitting in a warehouse, it's working for you. But how do you validate what to sell without losing money? Before you spend a dime on machines, I'll show you how to make your factory as close to risk-free as possible. Before finding the right product to sell, I tested everything. And the more products I looked into, the more I realized that if I wanted to become a millionaire, the product needed to hit my checklist. I needed something consumable, something that people are going to buy repeatedly, something utilitarian, not a fad, not something that's just gonna go out of fashion next year and leave me hanging, and something boring, meaning not a lot of competition, not a lot of eyeballs, not a lot of other people chasing the same idea. When I found air filters, I knew this was it. They checked every box. When Prime Energy blows up, everyone launches an energy drink. Sexy products attract massive competition overnight. But who wakes up excited to start an air filter company? Almost nobody. That lack of competition is your moat. The thing you have to realize is that these opportunities are everywhere around you if you just know where to look. I once visited a business that manufactured nuts and bolts for the oil and gas industry. These are like big nuts and bolts. 2 guys started in their garage and ultimately sold the business for $50 million to a private equity firm 5 years later. What I want you to do is to start training your mind to start looking for those opportunities everywhere you look, and you may be surprised what you find out. There's one spreadsheet I built before Filterbuy existed, and it's why I'm still in business while most brands failed. Before I bought equipment, I had to answer one question. Could I actually afford to win? Because here's the thing, if my margins weren't good enough, I couldn't spend enough on marketing to compete. And if I couldn't outspend my competitors, I'd lose before I even started. So what I did is I reverse engineered the entire business. What are air filters selling for? What are raw material costs? What is the depreciation of the equipment, as in how much equipment do you need to run the business? What's my labor per unit? What are fees like for credit card processing or platforms and shipping? I built a full P&L in a spreadsheet. My target, strong net income margins. For every dollar of revenue, I needed to keep a healthy percentage after everything. So I started plugging in numbers. Raw materials, a fraction of the cost. Labor, another fraction. Equipment depreciation, minimal per unit. Fees, platform and processing cost. Marketing, a significant portion. I added it up, the costs were manageable, and that left a strong profit per dollar of revenue. Healthy margins. That meant I could spend significantly more on marketing per filter and still make money, while my competitors could only spend a fraction of that. Now I could dominate, which gave me a more complex business, but also gave me a healthier margin at the end. Your unit economics determine if you can win. If a large percentage goes to marketing and costs are high because you're a middleman, you keep very little. One competitor with better economics spends more on marketing and kills you. But if you manufacture, you have options. You can outspend everyone and still profit. Now here's how you actually start manufacturing. This is how to set up your garage factory. Here's the order I actually did this and why it matters. First, I drop shipped air filters from another manufacturer. I built demand, I proved that people would actually buy, and I got customers ordering and then reordering. Then step 2, I bought from a manufacturer and slapped the Filterbuy brand on them. It was actually the Air Filterbuy brand on them at the time. Still not manufacturing, just private labeling. More customers, more data on what actually sells. Only after I had proven demand for months did I buy my first piece of equipment. And even then, I only made one size myself and drop shipped the rest. That's the key. I didn't try to manufacture everything at once. I started small. I made one size. I learned where the bottlenecks were. I figured out quality control. I tested materials. Every mistake was contained because I was only doing a fraction of the business myself. As I got better at manufacturing, I slowly shifted more production in-house, added another size, then another. Each time, I already had customers waiting for that product because I've been selling it through other channels. That's how you avoid gambling your life savings on something that nobody wants. Most garage manufacturers fail because they skip quality control and it destroys them when they try to scale. When you're manufacturing alone in your garage, you are the only quality control. And if you screw up quality, you don't just lose money, you lose every customer who tells 10 friends your product is garbage. So what I did is I sent samples to third-party testing labs. Every product has specialized labs. You find them by searching your industry plus testing certification. But I didn't stop there. I built my own checks into every batch. Inspect for defects, measure dimensions, test functionality. Quality control isn't just about the product. It's about building a repeatable process. Every batch refines your system. You document what works. When you hire people, you hand them that process. They don't figure it out. You already did. And only after you get the hang of it can you start even thinking about moving to a warehouse. If you're as obsessed with boring businesses as I am, subscribe to watch my new podcast, Boring Money, where I interview owners of businesses you'd never think to run. If you want to come on the show, click on the link in the description. Most people think scaling means buying more equipment. I found a way to double the output overnight. When we started getting too busy in the warehouse, I had a problem. New machinery takes months to arrive and cost a fortune, but I needed to increase production immediately. So here's what we did. We started a night shift. Same equipment, same space, just different people running it at night. We doubled our output without waiting for new machines or spending 6 figures on equipment. And we did this multiple times as we scaled. Because I had built the process myself in my garage, I could train anyone to replicate it. That's why starting in your garage matters. You become the expert so you can teach others exactly what to do. You've got people and production system. Now, here's how you go from good revenue to $23 million a month. The difference between $1 million and $270 million isn't working harder, it's 3 decisions that most people never make. To manufacture competitively, you need volume, but when you're starting, you don't have it. So I did something counterintuitive. I took on wholesale customers, selling filters by the truckload to a New Jersey company. I'd manufacture for $2 and sell for about $2.30. I was losing money after my overhead because I wasn't a good manufacturer yet, but I knew that the only way to lower cost was to drive volume up. Today, I take that same $2 filter and sell it for $13 to end customers. But I can only do that because I built economies of scale. Second lever, location. I stayed in Alabama. During COVID, we got a 30,000 square foot facility, an old Piggly Wiggly grocery store. I negotiated a $1,500 a month rent. In New Jersey, that's $50,000 a month. I'm saving over $500,000 a year on just that one building. That's marketing budget. Third lever, operators. My COO came from Amazon. My CFO came from US Foods. Executives who'd scaled before. They built systems, SOPs, quality checkpoints, financial dashboards. The systems ran the business. I just made strategic decisions. Scaling isn't working harder, it's strategic leverage. You need to kind of wait until it's obvious that it's something you need. I think that when you're starting a business, particularly in a boring business like this, you need to be the person who goes in and really, understands the economics of the business and understands, at least at a base level, level what it is that you're looking to achieve. Going out and finding people that can help you to do those things, I think is more important than thinking about executive strategic direction. You want to bring in the executive strategic direction after you already have a proof of a business and, probably $10 to $20 million a year of revenue before you're really bringing in like a C-suite type CFO or COO to help you with your business. But in the beginning, you're going to have to be the strategist and you just have to take ownership of that. Now that you've seen the complete roadmap from garage to 270 million, the real question is what other boring businesses you could build without investors. Click this next video to see the best businesses to start in 2026.